This is my mug that matches last week's mug. They hug. Aren't they so cute? Welcome to Subject Baseball, where I talk all things baseball because the subject is baseball. I'm Marleigh, and today's lecture is Pro Women's League Teams 104, New York. This is the last episode in the series of the Pro Women's League teams. But next week there will be an episode of the history of the Pro Women's teams because there's a lot to talk about. In that episode, there will also be details about where to watch these new games that happen next year over the summer, all of the details of how to watch and how to root for your team. If you haven't watched the other 3 episodes, I'm just going to talk about the roster because there's not really much else that we know at this point. I'm going to mention a couple of the names that I'm be keeping my eye on. Episodes for each team at this point have now been released, so you can go watch the Boston, San Francisco, and LA episodes if you haven't already. And I'm going to give a little recap on how the draft worked on November 20th. So it was a snake style, so San Francisco picked first, then LA, then New York, then Boston picked, then New York, then LA, then San Francisco, and they weaved back and forth for 6 rounds. Each team has a 15-player roster with 30 players total, so each woman at this point has an equal chance to make it onto that first opening day roster. Consider the bell rung and class started. Here's your New York women's team.
This is editing Marleigh. I realized after editing the 4 episodes that I make it a big point to point out the players' ages. I'm not trying to... That doesn't mean anything. They didn't give me any more information than that in the draft, basically. In the women's history episode, I'm going to make a point to go and look at some more details and accomplishments from these wonderful women. But as of the draft and the info that they just had on their website, their ages and positions were pretty much the only thing they had for these women. I don't mean anything by it. That's just, I realized I was talking a lot about numbers. So, yeah, okay, back to the episode.
Kylie Lawners plays third base. She's 32, and she's from North Carolina, and she's the oldest on this team, which, as we've seen from the other 3 teams, is young. The oldest in the league is 40, and then there's some 37-year-olds, some 31-year-olds, but Kylie on the New York team is the oldest at 32. Danae Benitez is a catcher. She's 24 from Vegas. Rakyoung Kim is a right-handed pitcher. She's 25 from South Korea. She was the youngest player in the South Korea women's national baseball team at 15 years old. Jada Lee was a right-handed pitcher at 19 from Newfoundland, Canada. She was picked number 19 in the draft. At 16, Jada was the first female to play in men's baseball competition in the Canada Summer Games in 2022. London Stutter was a first baseman from Ohio. She's 19 years old. Kira Izumi is a shortstop. She's 19 from San Diego. Yonatani Nasuki is a left fielder. She's 24 from Japan. Alyssa Zettelmoyer is a catcher. She's 18 from Murrieta, California. Madison Willen is an infielder. She's 24 from Alberta, Canada. Claire Eccles is both a center fielder and a left-handed pitcher. She's 18 from British Columbia, Canada. We're going to keep our eye on this one because she can both catch and pitch. Not catch. She's playing defense. She's playing defense and she's pitching. Elodie Ciamaro is a catcher. She's 19 from Quebec. Jacqueline Reynolds is a right-handed pitcher. She's 31 from Massachusetts. Diana Ibarra is a center fielder. She's 25 from Mexico. Claire O'Sullivan is a right-handed pitcher. She's 30 from Maruba, Australia. McKenna Huff is a shortstop. She's 20 from Virginia. Madison Irwin is a right-handed pitcher. She's 23 from Canberra, Australia. Angelise Rivera is a right-handed pitcher. She's 25 from Puerto Rico. Rocio Baraz is a right-handed pitcher. She's 28 from Puerto Vallarta, Mexico. Nicole Rivera is a right-handed pitcher. She's 25 from Puerto Rico. At this point, we can see that New York is definitely looking at pitching. We're looking at the pitching. Catherine Murphy is a left fielder. She's 19 from Belmont, Massachusetts. Zoe Filardo is a right-handed pitcher. She's 18 from Ontario, Canada. Adelaide Zabart is a right fielder. She's 21 from Saskatoon, Canada. Edith DeLea is a center fielder. She's 22 from Adama, Mexico. Angela Valenzuela is a right-handed pitcher. She's 19 from Phoenix, Arizona. Melissa Mayo is shortstop, and she's 27 from France. She is the only French player in the league. Chloe Atkinson is a catcher. She's 18 from Perth, Australia. Melaniela Cortez is a right-handed pitcher. She's 27 from Venezuela. Abigail Moore is a catcher. She's 18 from Arlington, Texas. Minseo Park is a second baseman. She's 21 from Seoul, South Korea. And Sarah Boleo is a right-handed pitcher. She's 21 from Quebec, Canada. 5 of these players are 18-year-olds. They're the youngest players on the team. Abigail, Chloe, Zoe, Claire, and Alyssa. Kylie's the oldest on the team at 32, with Jacqueline following at 31, and then Claire at 30. So we are definitely dealing with a younger set of women on this team. Again, there were a few other older women on the other teams. So New York is definitely looking at pitching and at some pretty young talent here. Just like the last 3 episodes, the pictures of the players are coming from the Instagram page, and this quote is coming from Matt Warren off the Women's Pro Baseball League website. New York approached the inaugural Women's Pro Baseball League draft with a clear objective: build a roster anchored by pitching depth, complemented by athletic defenders, and a versatile group of hitters who can contribute immediately. Across 30 selections, the club assembled one of the most internationally diverse classes in the league, drawing talent from North America, Asia, Europe, and Latin America. So again, another short episode for you guys this week. Next week, it'll definitely be a bit lengthier, because we're going to do some history. There's like 4 or 5 women's leagues that we have to check out throughout time. Stick around for the extra credit resource list. It's more podcasts and YouTube channels for you to check out regarding baseball or sports. And that concludes class today. We'll see you next week.
Welcome to the extra credit portion of the episode. Thanks for listening to this episode, and here are some other podcasts or resources if you decided subject baseball isn't really for you. If you're looking for Red Sox media specifically, besides the tens of TV shows and movies out there, the Section 10 podcast talks statistics, and they post an episode after each series. You can listen to anywhere you get your podcasts, but I think it's funnier to watch these guys on YouTube. The NESN reporters do a podcast called 310 to Left, and there's also the Fenway Rundown. 310 is found on the NESN YouTube channel, but you can also listen to it wherever you get your podcasts. Fenway Rundown can be found on the Mass Live YouTube or anywhere you listen to your podcasts. For more casual sports information, check out Katie Nolan. She has a SiriusXM podcast and a YouTube channel where she posts her shorter videos. While she's not sports specifically, and she's all things Philly, Kylie Kelsey's podcast Not Gonna Lie shines the light on women in sports if you're looking for some female empowerment. Baseball Explained is a channel on YouTube with shorter explanation videos on a variety of baseball topics. Baseball is Dead, Foul Territory, and Baseball Today are the most popular podcasts when you search baseball on Spotify. There's also Mookie Betts' podcast called On Base with Mookie Betts. Feel free to share other baseball or sports podcasts down in the comments for our new fan friends. And thanks again for listening to Subject Baseball.